Have you ever experienced that situation where it seems like your Shih Tzu suddenly transforms? Just ring the doorbell, and within seconds, that cute, calm little dog becomes a walking alarm, barking nonstop, running to the door as if defending an entire castle. Or mid-walk, you barely see a dog approaching, and voila, your little one is pulling desperately on the leash, barking with all their might, and you feel like you've completely lost control. Many people feel embarrassed in these moments and even believe their Shih Tzu is being stubborn or has a difficult temperament. But the truth is quite different. What's happening is something called reactivity. And do you know what the most important detail is? Reactivity isn't a sign of disobedience, much less aggression. It's actually a form of communication. Your Shih Tzu can't speak like we do, so he reacts with his body and voice. When he barks excessively, throws himself against the door, or seems overly nervous in ordinary situations, he's trying to say, "This scares me, I don't know how to deal with this," or even, "I need to protect you." To us, it may seem like an exaggeration, but to your dog, it is a form of defense. What many owners don't realize is that this behavior can be mitigated and even transformed with patience, proper techniques, and lots of affection. Because the Shih Tzu is a breed that is extremely attached to its owner, it tends to reflect the family's environment and emotions. If you react nervously, it becomes even more insecure. If you show calm and offer reassurance, it learns that it doesn't need to react with such loudness or intensity. It's like teaching a child not to be afraid of the dark. There's no point in fighting. You need to show it's safe. And that's exactly what we'll cover in this video. How to help your Shih Tzu be less reactive, how to calm them down when they're in outbursts, and how to turn stressful situations into learning opportunities. Here, you'll discover that there's no need for scolding, punishment, or harsh methods. On the contrary, with simple, gentle strategies, you can teach your little one to trust you more and react more calmly to the world. So here's what you do. If you love your Shih Tzu and want to continue learning practical tips to improve coexistence, subscribe to the channel now. Like it and activate the bell. This way, you don't miss any content and also help this community grow, showing more tutors that it's possible to teach with care and patience. When we hear someone say a dog is reactive, many people imagine a fierce, aggressive animal ready to attack. But in the case of the Shih Tzu, this is far from the reality. This breed is known for being docile, companionable, and full of love. So why do some of them seem to explode in certain situations? The answer is simple. Reactivity is not aggressiveness, and understanding this difference completely changes the way you see your little one. A reactive Shih Tzu isn't trying to hurt anyone. They're not mean, much less disobedient. What happens is that they sense the world intensely. Imagine you're in a room and suddenly someone slams the door shut. You're startled, right? Now think of the Shih Tzu, which is small, sensitive, and very attached to its owner. When it hears a loud noise, sees another dog approaching, or perceives a different situation, its body sets off an internal alarm, and this alarm manifests in the form of barking, pulling on the leash, or even growling. It's as if the Shih Tzu is screaming, "Hey, I didn't get that," or "I'm scared, help me." Reactivity at its core is a defensive reaction. The dog doesn't know how to deal with that stimulus and therefore reacts in the only way it knows how, making noise or trying to push away whatever bothers it. This exaggerated response stems from insecurity, not malice. And here's a point that few owners realize. Often the person who influences reactivity the most is the owner. If the owner gets nervous, pulls hard on the leash, or starts yelling, the Shih Tzu understands, okay, if my human is desperate, it's because there really is danger. And guess what? This only increases reactivity. It's like adding fuel to the fire. On the other hand, when the owner shows calm, security, and guides the Shih Tzu with patience, the message sent is different. Don't worry, I'm in control of the situation. And the dog gradually learns that it doesn't need to react intensely. It understands that its owner is in control and that it can trust. Now, here's the most curious detail. Each Shih Tzu reacts differently. Some bark as if it were a fire alarm. Others just stand still, rigid, staring at whatever scares them. There are even those who try to hide behind their owner or pull on the leash to escape. All of these are part of reactivity. So, the next time your Shih Tzu seems too nervous, remember, he's not against you. He's asking for help in his own way. And it's up to you to show him that the world isn't as scary as it seems. Want to discover how to transform this energy into calm? Stay with me, because in the next step, I'll reveal the most common triggers that trigger reactivity in Shih Tzus, and I'm sure you'll identify with at least one of them. When we talk about reactivity in dogs, it's crucial to understand the stimuli that trigger this behavior. In the case of the Shih Tzu, despite being a docile and companionable breed, some triggers are quite common and appear in the routine of almost all owners. Identifying these triggers is the first step to better managing the situation and providing your dog with a calmer, safer environment. One of the most known triggers is doorbell noise. Just the sound echoes through the house, and many Shih Tzu run to the door, barking nonstop. This behavior is natural, as the doorbell ringing represents a sudden change in the environment and activates the alert instinct. The same happens with knocks on the door, or even strangers entering the house. For a protective dog like the Shih Tzu, this is enough to trigger the reactive response. Another frequent trigger is the encounters with other dogs during walks. Many Shih Tzu become tense when they see larger animals approaching and may bark or pull intensely on the leash. This reaction may be linked to both fear and a desire to ward off the potential intruder. Similarly, the presence of children running or making noise can also be a stimulus that generates discomfort, as rapid and unpredictable movements arouse insecurity. Loud sounds are also among the main triggers of reactivity. Fireworks, speeding motorcycles, thunder, or even the noise of a vacuum cleaner inside the house can put a Shih Tzu on alert, resulting in excessive barking, trembling, or attempts to hide. It's important to remember that a dog's hearing is much more sensitive than ours, which makes sounds that seem normal to us extremely disturbing to them. Additionally, there are triggers related to territory. The Shih Tzu, despite its small size, tends to be quite protective of its home and family. Seeing people or animals outside the gate can be enough to provoke a reaction. Often, the mere movement of someone passing on the sidewalk is interpreted as a potential threat. All these triggers have in common the fact that they trigger the Shih Tzu's need to overreact, whether out of fear, protective instinct, or insecurity. Understanding these stimuli is essential for the owner. Instead of interpreting barking or pulling as disobedience, it's important to see them as a sign that the dog is facing something it doesn't know how to handle. Recognizing the triggers allows you to prepare the environment and create strategies to help your Shih Tzu face these situations in a calmer and more balanced manner. When an owner notices a Shih Tzu showing signs of reactivity, the first reaction is usually to scold or even yell, trying to shut the dog down. However, this is exactly the opposite of what actually helps. The first step to calming a Shih Tzu is to understand that they're not being stubborn or disobedient. They're simply reacting according to their emotions, which often involve fear, insecurity, or overstimulation. Therefore, it's essential to adopt strategies based on calm, patience, and positive reinforcement. One of the most important techniques is gradual socialization. The Shih Tzu needs to be exposed to different situations slowly and in a controlled manner. This could include new sounds, unfamiliar people, busy environments, and even other dogs. The key is not to force the approach and always respect the animal's boundaries. For example, instead of taking your Shih Tzu straight to a park full of dogs, start with a walk on a quieter street, allowing it to observe other dogs from a distance. Over time, and as it feels safe, the distance can be reduced. Another powerful feature is the counterconditioning. The idea is simple. Transform what was previously a negative stimulus into something positive. If the doorbell rings and your Shih Tzu barks, immediately offer a tasty treat. Gradually, he'll understand that the noise that previously caused stress is now a reward. The same can be done on walks. When a dog appears, before your Shih Tzu reacts, offer a treat and redirect his attention to you. This positive association is one of the most effective ways to reduce reactivity. It is also important to organize tours strategically. Avoid busy times, such as early morning or late afternoon, when many people and dogs are out and about. Choose quieter times that allow your Shih Tzu to roam without feeling too much external pressure. This doesn't mean isolating the dog, but rather creating calmer experiences that convey security. Throughout this process, the owner's demeanor makes a huge difference. It's essential to remain calm and consistent. Pulling hard on the leash, shouting, or picking the dog up in a panic sends the message that danger is real, which reinforces the Shih Tzu's insecurity. On the other hand, speaking calmly and remaining firm but not overly rigid shows the dog that there's no reason for such a fuss. Calming a reactive Shih Tzu isn't about forcibly correcting the behavior, but rather about teaching, little by little, that the world can be a safe place. With patience, consistency, and a lot of affection, the owner can transform moments of tension into learning experiences, helping the dog feel more confident and balanced in their daily life. Once you've begun the process of calming your Shih Tzu through socialization and counterconditioning, it's time to teach him something that can completely transform how he reacts to the world: focus and self-control training. This type of training helps the dog learn that when faced with challenging situations, the best choice is not to react impulsively, but rather to look to its owner for guidance. It's like teaching a child to raise their hand before speaking in class. It's not a punishment, but a way to organize behavior. One of the most effective exercises is the command, "Look at me." The steps are simple. Choose a tasty treat, hold it close to your face, and say the chosen cue word, such as "look." As soon as your Shih Tzu turns its attention away from the environment and fixes its eyes on you, deliver the reward. At first, it may take a while for it to understand, but with frequent repetition, it will associate looking at its owner with something positive and advantageous. Over time, this reflex becomes natural. Whenever a stimulus that previously made it nervous appears, it will tend to look at your eyes instead of reacting uncontrollably. In addition to this command, it's useful to practice exercises in wait. Place the treat on the floor and, with your hand, signal your Shih Tzu not to take it. At first, he'll probably try to grab it quickly, but as soon as he waits, even for a few seconds, reward him. This practice teaches self-control, showing that acting on impulse doesn't always bring the best reward. Focus and self-control training is not just about obedience, but mainly about emotional security. When your Shih Tzu learns to focus on you, he understands that he doesn't have to face everything alone. He discovers that he can trust his owner to guide him, which reduces anxiety and, consequently, reduces reactivity. It's as if you become his safe haven amidst the chaos of the world. These training sessions can be done in short sessions, lasting 5 to 10 minutes a day, always in a calm environment at first. As your Shih Tzu masters the exercise, you can increase the difficulty level by introducing distractions such as sounds, toys, or even other dogs at a distance. The idea is to build trust step by step, without rushing, until self-control behavior becomes a natural part of the routine. It's important to remember that patience is essential throughout the process. Some dogs learn quickly, while others need more time. The most important thing is to maintain consistency and never resort to punishment. Positive reinforcement is key to helping your Shih Tzu associate training with something enjoyable, strengthening not only the desired behavior, but also the bond of trust between you. Ultimately, focus and self-control training is a valuable tool that goes beyond teaching commands. It helps your Shih Tzu better navigate its environment, control its emotions, and react more balancedly.
And for the owner, it provides peace of mind and security, knowing they can count on their little one's attention even in challenging situations. Each breed has its own unique characteristics, and when it comes to the Shih Tzu, it's essential to consider certain characteristics that directly influence its behavior and how it handles reactivity. Owners often follow general training guidelines, but forget to adapt their methods to the specific needs of this noble dog, bred for centuries as a lap companion and possessing a highly sensitive emotional background.
One of the most important points is to understand that the Shih Tzu has a flat snout, known as brachycephaly. This means their breathing may be more restricted, especially during times of stress or intense exercise. Therefore, there's no point in trying to solve their reactivity with long walks in the hot sun or with strenuous training. Excessive exertion can cause shortness of breath and further increase the animal's irritation. Ideally, work with short training sessions, always in cool, quiet places, ensuring the dog feels comfortable. Another detail is the Shih Tzu clingy behavior. This breed is known for creating a very strong bond with its owners, which can be wonderful, but it can also create insecurity if the dog isn't encouraged to have some independence. Many owners, upon realizing that their Shih Tzu is frightened by a noise or the presence of another person, immediately pick the dog up. This attitude, while seemingly protective, can reinforce the idea that the world is actually dangerous. The balance lies in conveying security, but allowing the Shih Tzu to gradually face new situations, always with you nearby as a reference point. Furthermore, the internal environments also make a difference. Since the Shih Tzu spends a lot of time indoors, it's important to create a calm and enriched space. Interactive toys, soft music, and even canine pheromone diffusers can help keep stress levels low, reducing the chance of reactive outbursts. It's also worth avoiding excessive stimuli, such as loud television or constant movement of people coming and going. The more balanced the environment, the calmer the Shih Tzu's behavior will be. Another special care is in the body language. Because they're a small breed, the Shih Tzu often feels vulnerable around larger dogs or even strangers. Owners need to learn to observe signs that the dog is uncomfortable, such as ears back, a stiff body, repeated yawning, or staring. Recognizing these signs before they escalate into barking or intense reactions is essential for gentle and effective intervention. Finally, never underestimate the power of routine. Shih Tzus adapt much better when they have predictable schedules for walks, feedings, and rest. This predictability provides security, reducing anxiety, and consequently, decreasing episodes of reactivity. In short, dealing with Shih Tzu reactivity requires attention to their physical, emotional, and environmental characteristics. Small adjustments to their daily routine make a huge difference, ensuring not only a calmer dog, but also a much more harmonious coexistence between owner and pet. We've reached the end of this video, and if you've watched this far, you've already realized that the Shih Tzu's reactivity isn't a factory defect, nor a sign of disobedience or aggression. It's simply this special dog's way of dealing with situations that make him feel insecure, scared, or overwhelmed. Knowing this completely changes the relationship between owner and pet, because instead of seeing the behavior as an unsolvable problem, you begin to see it as a cry for help. And that's precisely where the transformation begins. With patience, consistency, and lots of love, it's possible to teach your Shih Tzu to feel calmer and more confident in the world. The strategies we've discussed here, gradual socialization, counterconditioning, focus and attention training, and breed-specific care, aren't magic solutions that work overnight. They require dedication and repetition, but the rewards are enormous. A more balanced dog, happy, who can better enjoy every moment with you. It's important to remember that each Shih Tzu learns at their own pace. Some will show results faster, while others may need more time to adapt, and that's okay. The most important thing is not to give up. Every little bit of progress is a victory. One less bark, a confident look at the right time, a more relaxed walk, all of these show that the path is working. And never forget, the Shih Tzu is a breed that thrives on family. They sense your emotions, pick up on your tone of voice, and learn to trust when you convey calm and security. Being patient and gentle with them not only reduces reactivity, but strengthens a bond of friendship and loyalty that lasts a lifetime. In the end, more than just a trained dog, you'll have a confident companion by your side, full of love to share. Now I want to hear from you. What's the biggest challenge your Shih Tzu faces when it comes to reactivity? Does he bark at the doorbell, other dogs on the street, or get scared by noises inside the house? Share your experience in the comments, because sharing helps other owners who go through the same situations. And of course, if this video helped you in any way, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell to receive future tips. Here, every week, you'll find content specially designed to improve your Shih Tzu's life and further strengthen this bond of love and companionship.